Well, it's round two of the 2014 high school softball tournament for Weymouth High as they take on the Warriors of King Phillip here from the Plainville Athletic Complex in Plainville. Mark Duchamp with you here on Weymouth Community Access. The Wildcats coming off that great game against Brockton, 1-0 win in 8 innings. A wild game that the Wildcats, Cassidy Fall just pitched a marvelous game and leading the Wildcats to the win. Emily Cronin coming up with a big hit. As the Warriors, one of the top teams in the Hockomock large school division, the team the Wildcats faced 3 years ago and didn't have a lot of success. They faced one of the best pitchers that ever come through the Hockomock League in Meg Rico, who just dominated them. So it's Weymouth and King Phillip as we'll get ready for this one. As you look at right-hander Kaylee Magnan will pitch this one for the Warriors of King Phillip, facing this Weymouth lineup of Emily Cronin, the shortstop, Renee Finnegan in center field, Sarah Finnegan, the catcher, Cassidy Fall, the pitcher, Emily Skochik, the third baseman, hits fifth, Diane McAbee, the second baseman, sixth, Emma Keefe, the right fielder, hits seventh, Lindsay Callahan, the DH, eighth, Angela Milks will be in left field and bat ninth. There's a beautiful facility here in Plainville, Weymouth and King Phillip. Emily Cronin steps in, we're set to go. Cronin with the walk-off double to beat Brockton. And she faces McNain. As well, a lot of these Wildcat players know some of the King Phillip players through their AAU connections. Give her the KP defense in a moment. Jordan Schaefer is the catcher. As Cronin fouls it back. 1-1 strike on Emily. Renee Poirier, the first baseman. Casey Hutman, the second baseman. Ashley Hessian, the shortstop. Shannon Jones, the third baseman. Maddie Grizik in left. Krista Wagner, the center fielder. Brianna Serio is the right fielder. Cool and windy, as Schaefer will just watch it drift out of play, and the count goes to 1-2. Wind blowing in, kind of facility. Actually more Little League complex, but still it is a facility that is used for softball. McNain gets Cronin on a changeup, one down. Freshman Renee Finnegan steps in. Finnegan 0 for 2 in that game against Brockton. As Renee moved into the number 2 spot, ability to make contact, especially her bunting ability as she takes a strike. But that has been one of the things that they moved Renee up in a different look. Diane McAbee always seemed when she went to bunt, we always felt bad for Diane because it was one thing during the season, she'd always get strike one thrown to her. And Finnegan rounds one foul. As you look at when Coach Steve Kingman. Finnegan down on the count, 1-2. Riser misses away, 2-2 count. The Wildcats will get a couple different scouting reports on King Phillip. And they know what to look for. Finnegan pushes it out of play, first base side. As you look at the Warrior dugout, as you can see, a little bit of shadow at the plate, and that's going to be easy in the beginning. And Finnegan got hit by the pitch, and she will be aboard. And Renee just calmly walks down and tells her father that she's okay. The Wildcats play King Phillip in the sectional semifinals 3 years ago. Sarah Finnegan was the starting freshman catcher. She's now a senior. Roller, Shannon Jones only plays the first, and she will make it. And she will just get Sarah Finnegan. Again, had the good jump, and she's on at second with 2 outs. Cassidy Fall, the Weymouth pitcher. That's with 2 down and a runner in scoring position. There's Cassidy. Takes a strike. Cassidy 0 for 3 against Brockton. He's the Bay State Conference All-Star. And a lot of the Wildcats are just a little off balance in that game. 0-2 the count on Fall. The ball's 2 strikes and Cassidy Fall. Just on the way, Weymouth and King Phillip here from Plainville. And the off-speed pitch misses away, 1-2 as McNain used it to get Emily Cronin. Tried to get Cassidy Fall to jump on that one. Away again goes McNain, and the count goes to 2-2. That would be the unfamiliarity as far as this goes, and as far as some of the adjusting to what is being thrown for both sides. Fall ducks away for one. 3-2 the count on Cassidy. Fall get fooled by that one. She'll go to the mound in the bottom of the first. No score. Cassidy Fall makes her way to the mound. The sophomore right-hander faces his KP lineup of Maddie Grizik in left field. Shannon Jones, the third baseman. Callie McNain, the pitcher. And then it's Renee Poirier batting fourth at first. Ashley Hessian, the shortstop. Brianna Serio, the right fielder. Casey Hutnanen will play second. Jordan Shapier is the catcher eighth. And Krista Wagner, the center fielder. She will hit ninth. There's Maddie Ogrizik. The left fielder steps in. Slap hitter, taking one up from Cassidy Fall. We'll be throwing to Sarah Finnegan. Game 23 of the season. Amanda Ajero playing first. Diane McAbee, the second baseman, the shortstop. Emily Cronin, third baseman. Emily Skochik. The outfield, Angela Milkson left. Renee Finnegan, the center fielder. The right fielder, Emma Keefe. Grizik looking to swing away, takes one on the corner. 2-1.
We'll get another one. You ready up there, Maddie?
Slap again and fouled off by Grizik. As you look at the on-deck hitter, Shannon Jones. 2-2 count. Swung on and missed as Fall gets the strikeout. Shannon Jones, the third baseman. As Fall misses away. Well, for the Wildcats, it was just the pitching and defense got them through round one. This is King Phillip's opening tournament game. Slow roller. Skochik has to hurry. It doesn't get Shannon Jones, who just beats it out. Nothing just died. The field is excellent, as they dragged it prior to the game. Nothing Emily Skochik could absolutely do on that one. Nothing just died in the dirt. Kind of a sandy type of infield. Has a strike delivered to Callie McNain. Sort of like a bunt and just had enough backspin to fall down. Off-speed pitch misses. 1-1. Bottom of the first, Weymouth and King Phillip, Division I South Sectional action here in the tournament. And Finnegan has one skip. Shannon Jones in scoring position. That ball just skidded on. Wildcat catcher swung on and missed. Finnegan comes up with that one. 2-2 count. McNain. Another runner in scoring position, one out. Finnegan tried to frame it and couldn't. Pitch was low and his Fall with a 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. 2 down. There's Finnegan trying to throw in behind Shannon Jones. 2 down. And Renee Poirier bats with 2 down. Swung on and missed. A good pitch right there that just darted down. 0-1 on Poirier. Foul tipped in the Finnegan's glove. 0-2 the count.
What do you say, 2-0? What do you say, 2-0? Come on, kid.
Not by much. Fall tried to work low and away and didn't miss by much. Had the right idea. Just missed on the location. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Chop foul into the backstop. One, 2 count on Poirier. A bouncer towards third. Skochik. And another infield hit. It's over to third. About 15 feet of hit. Finnegan throwing behind and trying to catch Jones. There's Poirier on second. Hessian has a strike on her. 2 balls that just died. There's Hessian down on the count 0-2.
Stay on the pitch. Stay on you one. Stay right on it.
Little floater off the glove. Cronin has to hurry. Oh, and I don't know about that one. And 2 runs will score. 2-0 King Phillip. Hessian looked like she was nailed by a step, and everybody a little bit upset. And we'll go out to ask on that one. It went off false glove. Cronin on the deflection almost had the play. It's a swing and a miss by Brianna Syria. I'll tell you, from our vantage point, that was an out at first by a step. Syria takes one away, 1-1. There was no question about her being out. It should have been out of the inning, but a couple of bad breaks for the Wildcats. 3 infield hits. Nothing Cassidy Fall could do. That went off her glove. It was just a floater. It went off her glove. It popped into the air, and Cronin made a good play to try to get the Hessian at first. So a tough call as far as Weymouth goes, down 2-0. Swing and a miss. Finnegan. Has the stolen base. Hessian in under the tag of Emily Cronin. Little fish shot. Cronin will make the play, and 2 runs for King Phillip on 3 infield hits. 2-0 KP after 1. Frustrating bottom of the first as far as the Weymouth High Wildcats go. Absolutely just frustrating to say the least as Emily Skochik takes one up. 2 infield hits that just hit the dirt and died and put the runners on, and then the last one, Ashley Hessian's the big one, and that 3rd infield hit off Cassidy Fall's glove is a little flare that will be grabbed by the first baseman. Renee Poirier, 1 down. Diane McAbee. A little late on the swing as she fouls it back. The Hessian one better. It just was, she was out by a step. It was a clear call on that one from where we are. Unfortunately for the Wildcats, just not made as far as the call goes. Steve Kingman asked about it and was told it wasn't going to be looked at. McAbee roller. And it will be retired by Magnane on the Poirier, 2 down. Emma Keefe bats with 2 down. Sophomore right fielder. And she takes one low. That was the frustrating part of that one because 2 runs scored when the play was being made. No, it was 2 outs. When the second run going on contact, and that being Renee Poirier from second, she just didn't stop. That hurt as far as the second run scoring. 2-0 King Phillip here in the second. The Wildcats try to get something going. Keefe takes a strike, 2-1. There's Magnane. Tied 3 of the 4 hitters in the opening inning. Hit Renee Finnegan with a pitch. Keefe fouls it back. 2-2 count. Keefe out of play, first base side. With a 2-2 count. Well, the problem is in the front of this one, you're doing the camera as well as you get the sun and the shadow at the same time. 3-2 count because you go from shadow to sun. And that's what the hitters are facing right now. 3-2 count on Keefe, who walks with 2 outs here in the second. Lindsey Callahan, the designated hitter. Bats with 2 down. Callahan late on the pitch, 0-1. Well, one thing we can hear from both coaches, and you can hear them both here from the third base side. Callahan check swing foul, and the count goes to 0-2. Good pitch. When McNain did a smart pitch right there, just going low and away. Came in on Callahan a couple of times, and now went low and away, just trying to set up what her 1-2 pitch will be. Callahan late on the swing, and the Wildcats down in the second. 2-0, they trail after 1 1/2 innings. Casey Hutton in, the second baseman, takes one for a strike. Well, Ashley Hessian's infield hit right now is KP on top.
Good hitter up there. What do you say, 7?
3 infield hits for the Warriors, got them their 2 runs. That one is hard hit so far, and Cronin will not be able to come up with it cleanly. Hutton is on. There's Weymouth. Emily Cronin just couldn't come up with the ball cleanly, going to her right. Finnegan didn't look down because there was nothing to look down as Jordan Shafier pulled back 1-0 on the attempted bunt. You can remark about this infield, it's a better infield condition. It's just, it dies as Shafier fouls it off 1-1. And Shafier looking to push Hutton in, up as far as it goes. As the pitch not missing by much, 2-1. Pitch there, 2-2. And you measure it out, the first 2 hits, maybe about 25 feet total. These balls have just died on Emily Skochik. Foul on strike 3, the bunt attempt, and Shafier's retired, 1 down. Where we are, I don't think that was the sign as far as Shafier was given. She was supposed to swing away as Krista Wagner, the center fielder, fouls off the first pitch to her. As soon as the bunt was attempted by Shafier, who fouled it off on strike 3. Looked down, it was just like, oh, not what he was looking for. And 1 down here in the Warrior second. 0-2 the count as Fall paints the corner with that pitch.
Protect now, protect.
Finnegan trying to catch Hutton leaning and couldn't. 1-2 count. Chop foul. It moves out. Leadoff hitter, Grizik. Swung on and missed. 3rd strikeout for Cassidy Fall. Down here in the King Phillip second inning. Maddie Grizik struck out her first time up. Shows bunt and grabbed by Sarah Finnegan, foul ball. That's what you're looking at on the first base side in the sun. Not an easy situation to hit here in the early part of this one. You call that the home field advantage. Finnegan, Cronin, and Emily's got the softball in her hands, and the good throw by Sarah Finnegan. 2-0 in favor of King Phillip after 2. Just look at the flag in left center field here at Waters Junior Memorial Field. I was in the dugout getting lineups, and everybody, the coaches for the Wildcats were all remarking, okay, wind blowing out. And then it was a crosswind, and next thing you heard was, no, wind blowing in. As Angela Milks takes one high. It's It's been a swirling wind. You look at the trees in right field, and it is blowing in. Milks, 2-0 count. There's Weymouth batting here in the top of the third. Milks bunt along the first baseline, foul ball. And a break for Angela Milks. Renee Poirier played it well and had her dead to rights. 2-1 count on Angela Milks. That was a good pitch by McNain, 2-2. One thing she has been able to do here in the first couple of innings is at certain situations paint that corner and set some things up. Like that, one down in the Weymouth third inning. Fourth strikeout for McNain. Her first victim was Emily Cronin in the Wildcat first. Cronin bunt, and that's going to be a very tough play. Cronin beat it out, and the Wildcats get their first hit. Cronin has just got the exceptional speed, and is Weymouth, you got a bad stat right now in the tournament. 4 hits for the Wildcats in the tournament, all belong to Emily Cronin. Renee Finnegan hit by a pitcher first time. Cronin goes, takes a strike as the throw offline, and Cronin in scoring position. Hessian did a good job. Shafier's throw was just going to tail and look like hit into the outfield. The Wildcats will look for Renee Finnegan to try to pick the runner up with a 1-strike count. 1 out, and Cronin on at second. Cronin, well, and oh, great effort. Great effort by Shannon Jones. She just couldn't come up with it. That was tailing away from Shannon. Renee Finnegan down on the count, 2 strikes. Steve Kingman just trying to get a run on the board for his team any way he can. Low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. With a bunt single. And stole second, and she is there, and the Wildcats look to get her in and get on the board. Renee Finnegan, a roller. Shannon Jones sails it. And the tag was made by Poirier, just getting her on the shoulder. Emily Cronin moves over to third. Sarah Finnegan bats with 2 down, trying to get the Wildcats on the board. And takes a strike. Sarah grounded out the third. Well, down the line here at third, I'll tell you, the ball just dies. And it dies a pretty good death. Death as far as the third base area goes. Good pitch. Because McNain wants to get that outside corner and tries to set that up. That pitch inside to Finnegan, 1-1. Good pitch. You could just see it right there. I remember all those times watching Vinnie Hillier ran the pitching clinics. And Vinnie taught me just the things, one to set up the other. Change-up misses, 2-2. Finnegan. 2-2 count. Swung on and missed. And as McNain went up and in on her. And the Wildcats turned away in the third. As they trailed 2-0 after 2.5. Well, Maddie O'Grizik was at the plate. Casey Hutton was cut down on an attempted steal. Pop-up. Finnegan battles it. And that wasn't an easy play. As Sarah on the high pop-up just couldn't come down with it. It's normally an easy play for Sarah, but that time she just trouble picking up the softball. Grizik gets a second life. And she's down on the count 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes on Maddie O'Grizik. Lifted towards center. Renee Finnegan comes up with the catch. As that one just had a little backspin to it, and it was going to be trouble for Renee, who made the catch coming in. Shannon Jones takes a strike. Well, Renee Finnegan, if you're an outfielder, and especially center and left, you're going to be picking up the ball late. Shannon Jones bounces it. Emily Skochik on to Amanda Argero. That time, Shannon Jones, who got a single the first time on a roll that died in the turret, had a little more power to it, and she's retired 2 down. One of the few balls that really is just scooted to an infielder. As Kelly McNain struck out her first time, takes one away. 2-0 in favor of King Phillip here in the bottom of the third. Fall does a good job in tying up McNain on a pitch in. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's
2-1 count. And the pitch is low. Nice to see a scoreboard and have a chance to have one here. 2-2 count as McNain fouls it back.
just a little ahead of it, Caleb.
Well, the Wildcats have had runners in scoring position in the first and third innings. Have not been able to pick them up. And there's been one thing that the worry, a little flare that Diane Maccabee rolls to her left and makes the play. Fall gets a 1-2-3 inning as we go to the fourth in a 2-0 game. Cassidy Fall and the Wildcats. Bat here in the top of the fourth inning is Cassidy. Strike out her first time up. Wildcats 1 hit. Emily Cronin's bunt single. That's it. McNain misses low as Weymouth has had a base runner in each inning. 2 of them have been left in scoring position. Renee Finnegan in the second as Cassidy Fall rolls it towards third. Shannon Jones bobbles it and will not be able to recover in time. And Fall will reach on the error. Shannon Jones just couldn't come up with the ball cleanly, and Weymouth gets the lead runner on for the first time. And it's Emily Skochik popped out her first time out. Shows bunt, puts it down, and fouls it off. Skochik, good bunter. Chops it, fair ball. And she will be retired, but she moves Fall into scoring position. Well, Weymouth trying to change it up a little. It's a little bit of small ball, and Steve Kingman trying to get it one step at a time. Get this first run on the board. Diane Maccabee takes one away. Maccabee grounded out her first time out. Fall in at second, 1 out here in the fourth. 2-0. Good pitch at the knees to Maccabee, 2-1. Now McNain has been, for the most part, able to do things, and Maccabee held back. That wasn't an easy situation. There's 3-1 the count on Diane Maccabee. That's a tough call, I'll tell you. Doesn't matter. Anybody at any level, baseball, softball, you name it, it's not an easy call. Maccabee, that kind of hurts when you try to hold back like that. Maccabee rolls it. Poirier will make the play. For the third and with 2 outs. Maccabee went after the 3-1 pitch and just get jammed inside and grounds out to Renee Poirier. 2 down. Emma Keefe walked her first time up. There's the Chief. Takes one low. No, Weymouth, 3 of the 4 innings, has had a runner in scoring position. They got to bring somebody in. Good pitch at the knees to Keefe, 1-1. Emma thought about going after it. Felt she couldn't handle the pitch. Change up misses 2-1. Keefe hoping that she can handle this 2-1 pitch and normally be able to drive it. That was been a line drive hitter. Right there, but just couldn't push it in the fair territory. 2-2 count. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Emma Keefe. Out of play is a nice catch by assistant coach Pat Finnegan. 2-2 count. Keefe looking to pick up Fall from third. And Weymouth down 2-0 here in the fourth. On the corner, Keefe didn't think so, but it was, and she's retired. 3 runners left in scoring position for the Wildcats, who trailed 2-0 after 3.5. There's Renee Poirier on the Warriors of King Phillip out here in the fourth. Fall gets ahead of her. Poirier scored one of the 2 runs on an infield, and a questionable infield hit by Ashley Hessian. Looked like the Hessian was nailed. Poirier fouls it back, 0-2 the count. Right now, that is the difference in the game. A slow roller, and appeared Hessian had been nailed at first for the third out. 2 runs scored on the play, and that right now is Weymouth is down by. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Tough up there, 2-0.
Good stop by Finnegan, pitching the dirt, 2-2. Fouled. Poirier just getting a piece of it. Bouncer, Skochik. Ajero, 1 down in the King Phillip fourth. Now Ashley Hessian, that infield hit, and it was kind of a oops hit. And she fouls the pitch off. Hessian just barely got a piece of it, and it floated. Hit off Cassidy Fall's glove. Cronin on the deflection. It appeared that we said that she was out at first, but base umpire said no, and Wildcats see Hessian foul it off. 0-2 the count. Fall had the good idea and didn't miss by much. 1-2.
Confidence, one's confidence.
3-2 count. Fall got ahead of Hessian. Has not been able to come back with the next 3 pitches. She's been off with the last 2. 3-2 count on Hessian. Roller. Skochik at the line. Strong throw. Ajero there. Had her foot on the bag. 2 down. As the season's progressed, has gotten better and better at third. The freshman third baseman. Her 3rd assist in the last 2 innings as it's fouled off by Brianna Serio, who hit a little flare to Emily Cronin, the Weymouth shortstop. Ball change up away, and the count goes to 1-1. And by the way, we talked about earlier, the wind blowing out in left center, now blowing in. Serio just watched when on the riser escaped the strike zone, and she chased. 1-2. Off the end of the bat, Maccabee will have to quickly get it over, and does, as Cassidy Fall retires King Phillip in order. 4 complete. Weymouth down 2-0. Lindsay Callahan in the Weymouth fifth. And the Wildcats trying to get the offense going. Get more than a runner on at a time. They've had a runner on in each of the first 4 innings. As Lindsay Callahan takes one high. One ball, one strike. Good pitch. Magnane has done a good job of working that inside corner to set up things. Callahan late on the swing and hit the sliding part area, the back part. She did not hit the legal base. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There is that part in softball, and as far as the base goes, and Callahan takes one in the dirt. That's what Lindsay hit, was the other part of the base. 2-2 the count on Lindsay Callahan. Magnane strikes out Callahan, 1 down. And it's Callie's 7th strikeout. Angela Milks late on the swing, and she meant to hang back and didn't. Angela up in the count 2-0 her first time, and Magnane came back to strike her out. One and 1 the count on Angela. Two and 0, actually. I'm sorry about that. Playing umpire, I agree with Jordan Schaefer, the King Phillip catcher. I thought the first pitch was called a strike the way he thought he raised his hand. Milks that time does get a strike, and it's 2 and 1. Three and 1 the count on Milks. Now, between the two pitchers, there has been only 1 walk. Magnane has issued it. She walked on McKeef in the second inning, 3-2 count. Magnane's also hit a batter, and that was Renee Finnegan in the opening inning. Milks late on the swing, 2 down. Emily Cronin, bunt single, is the only Weymouth hit so far. Good pitch. Magnane just going off speed to get ahead of Cronin. Cronin and the Wildcats down 2-0, and Cronin down on the count, 0-2. Magnane didn't miss by much, 1-2. There's Emily Cronin. Sophomore shortstop, had a great season, 4th in the league in hitting, Bay State Conference. Line in the right field. And she is on with the Wildcats' second hit. Boy, Brianna Serio is playing shallow and almost got Emily Cronin. That would have been one heck of a play. Serio did a good job in just pinching in. Renee Finnegan hit by a pitch and grounded out. Schaefer throws it wildly in the center field, but no place for Cronin to go in her second stolen base. She's now got over 41 stolen bases and has yet to be caught. Renee Finnegan and the Wildcats, another scoring opportunity. Two and 0. You can hear Steve Kingman in the background just imploring Renee Finnegan to come up with a hit. 2-1 the count on a pitch that was ruled on the inside corner. first foul. With a 2-out single. She stole second. And a 2-2 count on Renee Finnegan. Finnegan caught looking. 9 strikeouts for McNain. The Wildcats leave another runner in scoring position as they trail 2-0 after 4.5. Casey Hutton reached on an Emily Cronin error. Came the second inning. She had a hard shot. Cronin knocked it down, just couldn't come up with it cleanly as Hutton takes a strike. 2 hard hit balls off Fall, and that was one of them. And a little flare. Diane McAbee to her right picks it up out of the air, 1 down. Jordan Schaefer. And Hutton was on in the second inning trying to bunt with 2 strikes. Right on the swing as she's down on the count. 0-1.
Confidence up there, 1-4. Confidence. Come on, kid.
Hutton
You know you can do it.
ended up getting caught stealing in that inning. Schaefer down on the count, 0-2. Two, 3-1 for King Phillip. 2-1 for Weymouth.
Only takes one, Jordan.
1-2 on Schaefer.
What do you say, kid?
Fall gets the strikeout. 2 down. Cassidy picks up her 5th of the ball game. Krista Wagner was one of those 5 strikeouts. Tries the bunt and misses. 0-1.
Well, I went back.
Play right now. It is controversial, and the biggest play of this one, Ashley Hessian hitting a floater off Cassidy Fall's glove. Emily Cronin looked like she made the play off the deflection at first. Fall waits for Ajro and won't get the play in time. Ajro had pulled in and trying to make the right side of the infield on the slap hit. And the 4th hit for King Phillip, and all 4 hits have not even left the infield. Fouled off, 0-1. Funny thing is, of how the 6 hits in the game, only 1 has left the infield. And going early was Krista Wagner. The inning comes to an end. So the Wildcats will come to the bat in the top of the 6th, down 2-0. Sarah Finnegan and the Wildcats were running out of innings. Down 2-0 as they bat here in the 6th. It's been a team that's been resilient. See if they can be resilient again. Finnegan takes a strike. Wildcats have left 3 runners in scoring position in this one. That's going to be the black eye as far as this Weymouth team goes right now. 1-1 on Sarah Finnegan. Finnegan, Fall, and Skochik in the Weymouth 6th inning. Finnegan almost kills us up here on top of the dugout. She just smoked that one. She got way ahead of that one. By McNain. 1-2 count on Sarah Finnegan. Gets jammed and fouls it back. Well, the Wildcat catcher, a 3-year All-Star in the Bay State Conference. He's been a hero at times during the season. Drives that one towards left and hit well. It's deep. There she goes. Home run. Sarah Finnegan. And the Wildcats are back in it. It's a 2-1 game. Her 3rd home run of the season. Finnegan left no doubt about that one. It's Cassidy Fall and the Wildcats within 1. Fall towards right center. As Wagner will put it away, 1 down. Fall just missing it, getting underneath it. Sarah Finnegan, who drove in 28 runs in the season. RBI number 29 gets Weymouth in there as Emily Skoch just ahead of that one. It's now a 2-1 game here in the 6th. Weymouth dugout just below us. You can hear. Talk about an emotional lift. Skochik 0 for 2 on the day. And lays off that one, 2-1. Sarah Finnegan got all of that one on a 1-2 pitch and just drove it. And the first non-Emily Cronin hit for the Wildcats. Skochik chases. 2-2 count. That was one of the things the other day with the Boxers as far as the game win, a lot of chasing by the Wildcats. 3-2 the count on Emily Skochik. Well, with the lineup, when you look at it, 2 freshmen and 6 sophomores in it, or 5 sophomores. Skochik walks, and the tying run is on. And Maccabee looked back at Steve Kingman to check on what he wants to do, if he wants to make anything as far as the play goes. Maccabee late on the swing, 0-1. Maccabee the bunt. Jones comes in. Jones is thrown! And safe at second, and I'll tell you something. Oh, my. Maccabee looked like she had beaten it out. Pat Finnegan signaling safe. I believe it, and I will agree with Pat. Steve Kingman was irate. Pat Finnegan irate, and you couldn't blame him from where we're at vantage point. And believe me, we're on top of the play. Tough call. Emma Keefe takes one low. Skochik the tying run on its second. Emma Keefe 0 for 1 on the day. Holds back and takes high. 2-0. Well, hitter's pitch, and you got to call it that way. McNean, for the most part, has worked inside on this situation. Keefe off the fist, and Poirier will retire her. And the inning will come to an end. The Wildcats leave their 5th run in scoring position and trail 2-1 as Sarah Finnegan's solo home run has gotten them on the board. Mandy O'Grizik was at the plate. Krista Wagner attempted the steal and left way early. As that is, as far as everything goes, an automatic out. O'Grizik 0 for 2 on the day, and batting here in the King Phillip 6th. 0-2 the count. Well, Finnegan with the solo home run, and then the Skochik walk. Maccabee appeared that she beat out the bunt. It would have been 2-1. As O'Grizik fouls it off. And everybody in the maroon and gold frame of mind felt that Maccabee did beat it out. It would have been 2 on with 1 out. Little flare, and Emily Cronin will put it away. 1 down. Shannon Jones has an infield hit and scored one of the 2 King Phillip runs. And takes a strike. 4 hits for the Warriors, and none have left the infield. That has been the frustrating part in this one. Fouled off. 2 strikes on Shannon Jones. Callahan, Milks, and Cronin, 8, 9, and 1 in the Weymouth 7th. They're the scheduled. Steve Kingman might make some adjustments. 2 down. 6 strikeouts for Fall. That part is for the Wildcats, the only hit that Cassidy Falls let up since the first was on a slap that just, Amanda Rajro just didn't get back in time. Bounce foul. McNean 0 for 2 and takes a strike. Kelly McNean. He's done a good job on the mound. This has been just another pitching battle. The Wildcats are getting used to these things. Finnegan, Ajro steps on the bag, and that will be it. Emily Cronin's got 2 hits in the game. She'll look for another one. Her team down 2-1 after 6. Lindsay Callahan in the Weymouth 7th takes one inside. Callahan 0 for 2 on the day. And the Wildcats down to their final swings in the season. Maybe. Jammed. Callahan fouls it off. 1 ball, 1 strike on Lindsay Callahan. Two and 1 the count on Lindsay. I mean, here's Steve Kingman throughout. Samantha Mullen on deck for the Wildcats just below us. 3 and 1 on Lindsay Callahan. As Callahan looked down to Steve Kingman for the instructions. McNain, her 3-1 pitch. 3 and 2 on the corner. So McNain has been able to get that pitch throughout this game. That inside corner. She doesn't go after it, and she is on. And no question about it, she did hold back. And Callahan is aboard with a leadoff walk in the 7th. Samantha Mullen to bat for Angela Milkson takes a strike. Sophomore has had a couple of games where she's had multiple hits. This right now, time called. Sam Mullen did the job in setting up the game-winning run in the Brockton game. Ground out that moved the runner-up, which was Emma Keefe. Tying run on first. Callahan is the one on first, and Mullen takes a strike. 0-2 the count on Sam Mullen. Now Mullen just trying to move the runner in the scoring position. 1-2. Callahan with a leadoff walk. Samantha Mullen down on the count, 1-2. Chases, 1 down. Well, McNain, 9 strikeouts, and Emily Cronin 2 for 3 in the day. Grounded through the middle as Callahan gets the second, and she just slid in to make sure she was there. Emily Cronin's 3rd hit of the day. Lindsay Callahan just was going to make sure she was in there as Renee Finnegan steps in. 2 on and 1 out. Finnegan takes a strike. Renee, 0 for 2 in the day. Was hit by a pitcher first time. The tying go-ahead runs on for the Wildcats. Finnegan watches one low, 1-1. Finnegan looking to pick up Lindsay Callahan. Flare towards the right field and out of play. There's Renee Finnegan down on the count, 1-2. Two count. Renee Finnegan. 2 on and 1 out in the 7th, and Weymouth down by a run. Out of play, first base side. 2-2, the count on freshman Renee Finnegan. Well, we call her Minnie. Ground ball, roller, off the pitcher's glove. Finnegan, safe, fly away, out of play, and it's going to score! Callahan to tie the game over at 3rd. On at 2nd. It should be another run coming in, and they will discuss it. And it's at least 2-2 and maybe more. On home. No, they couldn't leave her there. The Wildcats have come back to tie this one. And asking whether it wants to talk to his hitter, Sarah Finnegan. Sarah Finnegan, who homered last inning, a chance to give Weymouth the lead. Wildcats were asking if that ball flipped out of play by Hutton. It should have been 2 bases, and they're going to say no. And they're going to walk Sarah Finnegan, who goes after ball 1, as Cassidy Fall on deck. Finnegan, as they're going to try to pass her. And rather unusual to see somebody go after that. But McNain came towards the plate. Sarah's not going to take anything the chance as far as it being anything thrown towards the plate. Cassidy Fall, league all-star, on deck. And the bases, if McNain is able to complete this intentional pass, will be loaded. And now a 2-2 game. Cronin to the plate! Safe! The Wildcats take the lead! Emily Cronin steals home again! Renee Finnegan on it. Second. Well, they used it to beat Oliver Ames, and they use it to take the lead in this one. Swung on and missed by Sarah Finnegan. As she is retired, and Renee Finnegan safe at third. One of the craziest at-bats of the 2014 campaign. Cassidy Fall will try to make it a 2-run advantage. Ground ball through the middle of the center field. Base hit. It's 4-2 Weymouth. His first hit of the day is a perfectly timed. Emily Skochik. Swings and misses at the first pitch to her. 3 in the 7th for the Wildcats. And the craziest one was the middle one, Emily Cronin stealing home. They caught King Phillip napping. To the backstop. In at second. Skochik hammers it, literally, and out of play. The Wildcats up 2. On the fist, McNain retires Skochik. 3 in the 7th for the Wildcats, who take the lead at 4-2 after 6.5. Renee Poirier and King Phillip batting in the bottom of the 7th. Fall misses low. Angela Milks back into the game in left field. Poirier has an infield hit and 2 at-bats. Fall gets the strike. 1-1. Well, Wildcats kept leaving runners in scoring position. In the 7th, they didn't and got 3 on the board. Bounced into center field. Leads off the King Phillip 7th with a single. Ashley Hestian. Well, you got to be, if you're Weymouth, you got to take a deep breath and just go and attack the way you've been for 6 innings. Fall misses. 1-0. 4-2 Weymouth in the 7th. Hard shot left field, base hit. Poirier, Hessian on the bases. Nobody out. Brianna Serio steps in. 2 on, nobody out. And takes one away. Well, King Phillip had not hit the ball well until the first 2 hitters here in the 7th. Strike. The Serio, 1-1. One of those situations, and after you get all excited, you come back out, and you got to just settle down and go after it. Pop up. Foul territory, Ajro makes the catch Knocks one down. Casey Huttonen reached out an error her first time and takes a strike. And also popped out to Diane Maccabee. One out in the seventh, 4-2 Weymouth. Ground ball, Cronin. Ajero, 2 down. Tying run on second for King Phillip. Bella Magro will be the pinch hitter for Jordan Shaffier. Fall doesn't miss by much. 4-2 game in the seventh, Weymouth on top. Strike delivered, 1-1. Well, this has been an unbelievable game. Off the end of the bat, Skochik. Wildcats have done it! Three in the seventh, and the Wildcats, who 3 years ago got blasted by King Phillip, trailed 2-0 and come back and win one here and move on to the quarterfinals in Division I South and get a home game against Franklin. So the Wildcats, 3 runs, seventh, and they pull it out. Final score, 4-2 Weymouth. For everybody at Weymouth Community Access, glad you joined us. Weymouth, 3 runs, seventh, has given them the win. Has